Welcome to Radiant Aging, where growing older means growing stronger, healthier, and happier every day. Have you ever looked at your monthly expenses and thought, where did it all go? You're not alone. Especially after 65, managing money starts to feel a little different than it did in your younger years. You may be living on a fixed income now, maybe from Social Security, a pension, or your retirement savings, and every dollar matters a little more than it used to. That doesn't mean life has to get smaller. In fact, with a few simple tweaks, your money can go further than you think and still support the life you enjoy. Whether you want to travel occasionally, help the grandkids, or just sleep peacefully at night, knowing you're financially secure, smart budgeting is the key. In this video, we're diving into the most effective and realistic budgeting habits for seniors who want their money to last, without sacrificing joy, comfort, or peace of mind. These aren't just abstract tips either. They're practical, doable, and designed to fit into a lifestyle that values simplicity, comfort, and freedom. So, let's start with something that might surprise you: understanding where your money really goes. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Many of us, especially after decades of working and spending, operate on autopilot. We buy the same groceries, pay the same bills, and rarely stop to take a deeper look. But times change, and so do our needs. If you haven't reviewed your spending in the last 6 to 12 months, now is the time. Grab a cup of tea, sit down with a notebook, and look over your bank or credit card statements. Ask yourself, what do I spend the most on? Are there any automatic payments for things I don't use anymore? A gym membership I've forgotten? A subscription to something I barely touch? Or even just cable TV when I mostly use the internet? Don't worry, this isn't about cutting everything out. It's about realigning your spending with your life now. You're not being stingy, you're being smart. For example, maybe you notice you're spending a lot eating out. Not because you love it, but because it's become a habit. A few small adjustments, like cooking a few more meals at home or finding a lunch buddy to share meals, can easily save you $100 to $200 a month. That's over $1,000 a year. And here's something many people overlook. Keep your receipts for a week or two. Not forever, just for a short while. You'd be surprised what you learn when you actually see how many little things add up. A coffee here, a snack there, a couple of online purchases you made late at night. It's not about guilt, it's about awareness. That awareness gives you control, and control is a wonderful feeling at any age. Once you know where your money's going, the next step is to make your money go further. And one of the easiest ways to do that is by planning your purchases. Not in a complicated spreadsheet kind of way, just by thinking ahead. Let's say you know you'll need new shoes soon, or maybe you've been meaning to replace that old blender. Instead of buying on impulse, wait for a sale, check thrift stores, or browse local online groups. Many seniors I've spoken with have discovered whole new ways to save just by learning how to buy smarter, not less, just better. It's also worth talking about food. Grocery costs have gone up, and we all feel it. But with just a little planning, you can still eat well on a budget. Buying seasonal produce, planning simple meals for the week, and avoiding waste. These habits aren't just good for your wallet, they're great for your health too. Cooking at home doesn't have to be fancy. A pot of soup, a tray of roasted veggies, or a good stir-fry. These are meals that nourish both body and budget. And if you're living alone or just cooking for two, consider batch cooking and freezing. You cook once, and you got meals for several days, which means fewer trips to the store, less temptation to eat out, and more money in your pocket. Plus, who doesn't love opening the freezer and seeing dinner already waiting? One more thing that can make a big difference, especially after retirement, is setting up a simple monthly budget. I'm not talking about strict rules or rigid limits. I mean a friendly guideline, something like a spending map. You don't even need an app or fancy tool. Just divide your income into a few categories that matter to you. Essentials, fun, savings, and giving, if that's important to you. Essentials might include housing, utilities, food, and healthcare. Fun can be dining out, hobbies, or little adventures. Even on a tight budget, fun matters. Saving could be for emergencies or even a future vacation. And giving. Well, many seniors I know still love to support causes or help family. When you assign a purpose to your money, it doesn't disappear so fast. It serves you. And that's the whole point of budgeting, not to feel restricted, but to feel empowered. It's like telling your money where to go, instead of wondering where it went. Now that we've talked about understanding your spending and stretching your dollars through simple shifts in habits, let's explore a few more ways you can protect your money and make it work for you, not just a day, but for the long haul. One of the most powerful steps you can take, especially if you're living on a fixed income, is protecting yourself from unexpected expenses. Because let's face it, it's not always the day-to-day spending that throws us off. It's the surprises. The water heater breaks. The car needs a new battery. A sudden dental bill pops up. These things can feel overwhelming, but they don't have to catch you off guard. That's why having a small emergency fund can be a lifesaver, not just financially, but emotionally. Even setting aside $20 or $30 a month can build up faster than you think. And when something comes up, instead of feeling stressed or having to use a credit card, you'll already have a cushion in place. That peace of mind is worth its weight in gold. Now, if you're thinking, but I barely have enough to save, I hear you. That's why the goal isn't to set aside huge amounts right away. It's about consistency, not perfection. You could start by putting away your spare change, rounding up your purchases, or saving the money you might have spent on 1 or 2 cups of coffee each week. Over time, those small steps add up, and when you see that little fund growing, it feels good, like you're taking care of future you. Another smart move? Make friends with discounts. And I don't just mean clipping coupons, though that can help. These days, there's so many senior discounts available, but many people never take advantage of them. Sometimes all it takes is asking. Next time you're shopping, booking a hotel, buying a bus ticket, or even visiting a museum, ask if there's a senior discount. You'd be amazed how many places offer them. Some grocery stores have senior days where you get a percentage off just for shopping on a certain day. Others offer deals on dining, prescriptions, travel, even movie tickets. It's not about being cheap. It's about being wise. You've earned it. You contributed to society for decades. Don't be shy about receiving a little in return. And speaking of wise decisions, let's talk about subscriptions. It's so easy to sign up for things. A streaming service here, a digital newspaper there, a magazine, an app on your phone. Over time, these can quietly chip away at your budget. One of the best habits you can develop is reviewing your recurring payments every couple of months. Ask yourself, do I still use this? Is it bringing me joy or value? If not, it might be time to cancel. The same goes for insurance plans or phone services. Maybe you signed up for something 10 years ago and haven't checked the rate since. Don't be afraid to call and ask for better pricing, especially if you're a loyal customer. Companies don't always advertise their best deals, but they often have them if you ask. And here's a little trick that works wonders. Create a cooling off period for purchases. Say you're browsing online and something catches your eye. Before you click buy, pause, give it 24 hours, even 48. Most of the time, the impulse fades, and you realize you didn't really need it after all. But if you still want it after a couple of days and it fits your budget, go for it and enjoy it without guilt. Now, I want to share a gentle reminder, one that isn't always easy to talk about. Sometimes, especially in retirement, we feel pressure to give to our kids, our grandkids, or even to friends who may be struggling. And of course, generosity is beautiful, but it's okay to put yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're helping family financially, make sure it's truly sustainable. Open conversations about boundaries and expectations can save heartache down the road. You've worked hard to build what you have, and you deserve to feel secure in your later years. Supporting others is wonderful, but not at the expense of your own well-being. It's also helpful to build a community around your finances, even if it's just 1 or 2 trusted people you can talk to. Maybe it's a sibling, a friend, or a local senior center group. You'd be surprised how many folks are going through similar things, quietly trying to stretch their dollars, figuring it out day by day. Sharing tips, challenges, or just having someone to listen can make the whole process feel less isolating. And don't underestimate the value of asking for help when you need it. There are nonprofit organizations, financial counselors, and government resources designed specifically to help older adults manage their money. Whether it's help with taxes, budgeting, or finding local discounts, there's no shame in reaching out. In fact, it's a sign of strength and self-respect. Money can be a sensitive topic, especially when you spend a lifetime working, providing, and being independent. But adjusting your financial habits now, even just a little, is a way of honoring that legacy. It's saying, I've come this far, and I'm going to keep living well, smart, and proud. Now that we've explored ways to manage your spending, protect your finances, and get the most value out of every dollar, let's keep the momentum going. Because there are still a few more simple, powerful habits that can help you feel even more secure and even excited about the financial future ahead. One of the most underestimated ways to protect your money and your peace of mind is to simplify. And I'm not just talking about downsizing your home, although for some people that can be a great option. I mean looking around at your daily life and asking, what can I make easier, more manageable, or less expensive without losing things that truly matter? Let's say your home has become more work than joy. Maybe the yard is too much, or the maintenance costs are growing faster than your budget can handle. Moving to a smaller place or a senior-friendly apartment can lower your expenses dramatically. Utilities, property taxes, even insurance. But beyond saving money, it can free up your energy for the things you actually want to do. Now, downsizing isn't the right move for everyone, but simplifying your stuff is something anyone can benefit from. Less clutter means less stress, and often more clarity when it comes to finances. You might find items you can sell, old furniture, collectibles, and used appliances, and that extra cash could go straight into your savings or be used for something you've been putting off, like a dental visit or a weekend getaway. Another simple but powerful habit is planning your meals. I know that might sound unrelated to money, but it's a game changer. When you have a plan for your meals, even just a rough one for the week, you're less likely to waste food or order takeout on impulse. Grocery shopping becomes more focused, and you buy only what you need. That cuts down on waste and overspending. And here's a little trick. Try cooking a few bigger meals and freezing portions. Not only does this save money, it also saves energy, especially on those days when you're feeling tired and just want something quick and comforting. You already did the hard work ahead of time. Plus, eating at home gives you more control over your health. As we get older, nutrition becomes even more important, and making meals from scratch or even semi-scratch often means less salt, sugar, and processed stuff. Your body and your budget both win. Speaking of planning, let's talk about the calendar. It might not seem like a budgeting tool, but it can be. Have a look at your monthly and yearly expenses. Birthdays, holidays, special events. These things come around like clockwork, but still catch many of us off guard. By penciling them into your budget ahead of time, even in small amounts, you're making those moments joyful instead of stressful. For example, if you know your grandson's birthday is in July and it's March now, start setting aside a few dollars a week for his gift. The same goes for holiday meals, travel, or seasonal clothes. Planning ahead turns big expenses into bite-sized ones. And when the moment comes, you get to enjoy it fully without worrying about the price tag. Now, here's something that takes just a few minutes but can make a huge impact. Reviewing your bank statements. I know, it's not the most exciting way to spend an afternoon, but a quick monthly check-in helps you spot patterns, catch errors, and see where your money is really going. Sometimes we don't even realize how those little charges sneak in. A forgotten subscription, a service fee, or maybe just a habit that's crept up quietly. Maybe you've been stopping for a coffee every day when a home-brewed one would be just as satisfying. Or you've been paying for a premium TV package when you only watch a few channels. When you spot those things, don't feel bad. Just adjust. The goal isn't to cut joy out of your life. It's to make space for the things that matter most. And here's one more beautiful thing about budgeting later in life. Freedom. That's right. It's not about restriction. It's about empowerment. When you know where your money is going and you're making thoughtful choices, you start to feel more in control, more confident. You stop second-guessing every little purchase. You stop feeling guilty when you treat yourself to something nice, because you plan for it. That might be a dinner out with friends, a day trip to a local museum, or a class you've always wanted to take. Budgeting gives you permission to enjoy life on your terms. It lets you say yes to the things that bring you joy and no to the things that don't serve you anymore. So if you ever felt overwhelmed or worried about money, remember this. You're not alone, and you're not stuck. Every small change you make, whether it's cooking more at home, using your senior discount, or just taking a moment to reflect before spending, it all adds up. Your money isn't just numbers on a page. It's a reflection of your choices, your values, and your life story. And your story is still unfolding. You have the power to shape it, to make these years not just comfortable, but deeply fulfilling. Let's take everything we've talked about and bring it together with a few final thoughts and encouragements to keep your momentum strong. There's something incredibly liberating about knowing your money is working for you, not the other way around. When you take the time to plan, simplify, and be intentional with your finances, you're not just saving dollars. You're saving time, peace of mind, and even your health. Because let's be honest, financial stress weighs heavy. It creeps into your sleep, your relationships, your confidence. But with each small, smart step, that weight starts to lift. And budgeting doesn't mean living without joy. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It means giving yourself permission to live more fully, with less worry about the what-ifs and more excitement about the what's next. Whether that's a coffee with a friend, a class you've been curious about, or a visit to see family, your budget should support those moments that fill your heart, not just the bills that fill your mailbox. Maybe you've spent a lifetime putting others first, your children, your job, your responsibilities. But now it's your turn. You deserve to feel secure, to feel capable, and to feel proud of how you're managing what you have. Budgeting is simply the tool that helps you build that life, brick by brick, choice by choice. And here's something no one talks about enough. It's okay to ask for help. Whether it's sitting down with a trusted family member to review your expenses, talking to a financial advisor, or even just sharing stories and tips with a friend over tea, you don't have to do this alone. Some of the strongest people are the ones who know when to lean on others. And believe me, there are plenty of people who would be honored to lend a hand. If you've been watching this and thinking, I wish I'd done this sooner, let me stop you right there. It's never too late. Every day is a fresh opportunity to take charge, to adjust, and to improve. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in one sweep. Just start where you are with what you have. Even one small change this week can start a ripple effect that brings more confidence and control over time. And don't forget to celebrate the wins, no matter how small they seem. Maybe you packed lunch instead of ordering out. Maybe you canceled a subscription you don't use. Maybe you made a budget for the first time in years. Those are victories. That's progress. And that momentum adds up month after month, year after year. One of the most beautiful parts of this stage in life is perspective. You've already lived through so much, ups, downs, hard times, joyful ones. You've gained wisdom that can't be bought. Now is your chance to use it to design a life that feels aligned with who you truly are. A life with less clutter, fewer worries, and more intention. So as we close this conversation, I want to leave you with this. Your financial future isn't about fear. It's about freedom. It's about building habits that support your values. It's about making space for joy. It's about waking up and knowing deep down that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. If this video helped you even a little, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What tips spoke to you most? What changes are you thinking about making? Sharing your story might help someone else who's on the same journey. And if you'd like more videos like this, gentle, practical, and focus on living well after 60, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps this message reach more people just like you. You are capable, you are wise, and your best years still hold so much potential. Here's to living with clarity, with confidence, and with a heart full of purpose. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.